Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Anthony Durzo. In this week's news, everyone's favorite place to lip sync, dance, and laugh is under fire. Find out who is trying to ban TikTok here in the U.S.
And we have plenty of reporters in studio this week, including Brandon Krasowski and Hannah Bazet.
Of course, we'll hear about Sam's Sideline Slice as well as Politismack this week's political news with reporter Addison Deal.
And as a special surprise, we have a package to share so you can hear all about the downtown Pittsburgh Media Hub that's open to all students.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh. Daybreak starts right now. Welcome back. Let's get started with your campus news. Here's your weekly weather update with Alexa Shawless.
Thanks, Anthony and Juliana. I'm Alexis Shawless, and here is your weekly weather update. It seems that everyone is excited to get back to, to get some rest over the fall break. God knows I do. And this weather is perfect for those cozy nights indoors. In the upcoming week, expect low temperatures, similar to what we've been seeing the past few days. While some of the temperatures are expected to hit the high 40s, it is very unlikely that we'll be seeing anything over 50 degrees. As for the lows, bundle up this upcoming Monday as it is expected to drop down to the low 20s and may even break its way down into the teens. Though we're seeing regularly scheduled cold temperatures, don't expect this week to be a winter wonderland. There is a likely chance of snow showers next Friday, but aside from then, it will be mostly dull and dreary. That's all from me. Now let's hand things back over to our hosts.
Thank you for the updates, Alexa.
Now we'll get started with this week's campus news. Point Park University held its first ever 24-hour Day of Giving event on Wednesday. The event was designed to raise money for many different organizations within the university. Many of these organizations included athletics such as basketball, baseball, dance, competitive cheer. Donors also had the option of making donations to the University School of Communication, Education, Performing Arts, and Business. The program began at 12 o'clock Wednesday morning and later ended that day at the break of midnight. Together, the community was able to raise over $130,000.
Point Park student and UVU's very own Nick Konopka got the opportunity to intern with Meet the Press on NBC News. A senior majoring in broadcast production who is interested in politics seized the opportunity to apply for the internship and watched all his hard work pay off. Nick said, quote, "Never feel that you are too underqualified to at least apply somewhere," end quote. Nick is a great inspiration for all Point Park students as he is a reminder that if you want something, go for it and do not hold yourself back. We cannot wait to see where Nick's future leads to, as well as everyone else here at Point Park.
If you are a Point Park student or just someone looking to make some extra money this holiday season, Steel City Brand is currently looking for holiday applicants. Pay begins at $11 per hour and flexible schedules are offered. Perks include an extra $65 per month to be spent on merchandise in-store and even free coffee Fridays from Starbucks. The company sells generic and Pittsburgh-related merchandise and designs their own t-shirts. The store is located on 625 Smithfield Street. If you are interested, you can apply online at shopsteelcity.com. Good for Nick.
I know, that's super exciting.
He's super inspirational.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, he's going to go very far, you can tell.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Yeah, and it's exciting for everybody else to see.
Right.
Yeah, it's inspirational. Right here on 4th Avenue is a special spot for anyone to come down and get creative. The Pittsburgh Downtown Media Hub held its open house earlier this week.
Our reporters Addison Deal and Grace Lawrence went to the open house to hear about how the hub and how it works and what it meant to accomplish from both visitors and staff.
Here it is now.
The Downtown Pittsburgh Media Hub is a resource that is being introduced to the downtown area for students and professionals alike.
Well, this space was a real opportunity to find a mission that aligned with the Benter Foundation's interest in helping to make Pittsburgh more livable. And what better way to do that post-COVID than to bring together independent journalists who do so much in our city, but who haven't had a space where they can call their own. and where they can collaborate.
The Media Hub is a collaboration between different media sponsors, including the Center for Media Innovation, the Benter Foundation, the Pittsburgh Media Partnership, and more.
And our desire to bring more people downtown to really animate life here. And we're very pleased with what's happening so far. In the early days, we're seeing a lot more collaboration, students coming and going, and the fact that people can be housed together and work together will lead to even better programming and opportunities to strengthen local media.
Students have a multitude of resources available to them, including a podcast room, office space, and lounge spaces.
So Point Park students, for the most part, can come here and record podcasts, just like the Center for Media Innovation. But we have a little bit more of a tight-knit version of what we do over there. Everything is in one room. You don't have to worry about a control room or having a team of people, and you can make your own video content and do things without having to go through the same channels over at Point Park. You can also work with the professional outlets here with stories, or if you need just different things to look at. There's a lot of people that you can talk to here. And just it allows a comfortable place for people to hang out, and that's away from campus if you need something that's a little bit more quiet, or you just need somewhere that's a little bit different to free your mind or have a meeting for class or just have somewhere to hang out.
If any students are interested in using the resources in the Media Hub, they can reserve the resource online and come to use the space at 223 4th Avenue on the 10th floor. This is Addison Dio reporting for UView. Back to you guys in the studio.
Coming up after the break, get ready for this week's Pittsburgh news. You'll catch everything from this year's long-awaited Light Up Night celebration,
all the way to Guy Fieri's newest Pittsburgh restaurant located right downtown.
That's not all. Reporter Brandon Krasowski is in the studio to tell you what you need to know about Kennywood's newest attraction.
Don't go anywhere. Daybreak will be right back. Hello everyone and welcome back to Daybreak.
Before we hear from our reporters, let's take it away with this week's City News.
A woman was shot in the leg on 4th and Smithfield Street when a fight between two people escalated on Tuesday, November 15th. She was an innocent bystander walking past as two men's argument turned into a shooting. According to WTAE, officers found the injured woman after they responded to a shots fired call. She was taken to the hospital in stable condition. It was stated that Point Park University students were alerted of the events going on. However, many students failed to receive notice as no lockdowns were initiated. Word got out about the situation after the fact. Luckily, police said in a news release, quote, "There are no arrests at this time, but police believe there is no immediate or ongoing threat to the public," end quote. The woman taken to the hospital is expected to be okay, but the investigation is ongoing and there were no word on any charges or arrests.
The city of Pittsburgh is kicking off the holiday season with their festive tradition, the 61st annual Light Up Night. The Christmas tree in front of the City County building is already standing, but it will be lit up with Christmas lights for the first time this year on Saturday, November 19th. The Christmas tree will also be displayed with 90 ornaments, one to represent a Pittsburgh neighborhood. You will also be able to check out the 20th annual gingerbread display. Communities from around the city have the opportunity to build a gingerbread house, as the competition will be displayed in person in the lobby of the City County building. Caterers for this event include hot buns, Millie's homemade ice cream, rescue dogs, and wood-stocked oven. Activities along Grand Street will include food trucks, games, light shows, fireworks, and live music. 80s rock star Joan Jett and her band The Black Hearts will be attending the event this year and will hit the Xfinity stage on Fort Duquesne Boulevard at 6th Street at 8:30. Joining her on stage will be former American Idol contestant Adam Lambert and Andy Grammer.
Guy Fieri from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives has opened a new chicken eatery right here in Pittsburgh. Chicken Guy opened in PPG Place on Monday the 14th, a convenient location as the ice rink is right across from the new restaurant and is opening this weekend for the holidays. Chicken Guy is owned by Magic Eats, and according to Trib Live, there are planned locations opening in the waterfront in Homestead and the South Side, but there are no specific dates for those openings yet. Brendan Malone, Vice President of Operations and Development for Magic Eats, said, quote, "We're excited right now. We're building 3 restaurants here and creating 150 new jobs," end quote. There are 22 varieties of dipping sauces for one to enjoy, ranging from Fieri's signature wasabi honey to donkey mojo sauce. Guy Fieri himself even plans on coming down to Pittsburgh to see it, but until then, the life-size cutout of him will do. This is super exciting and sounds delicious. Definitely something to try, Pittsburgh.
Did you like it? Did you like Chicken Guy?
It was really good.
I thought so too.
I thought, yeah. I wasn't sure how it would be, but honestly, I was
Yeah.
impressed.
Now, don't ask me what I got because I can't remember, but I know it was good. Oh, no, I got the fried pickles.
Oh, yeah, those were
Yeah,
good.
I
Those were
enjoyed
good.
those a
The
lot.
sauces were good too. I got the special sauce.
Wait, I had some type of ranch.
Yeah, I think it was like garlic ranch or something. you
Something
got.
like that. It was something weird,
It was
but I
good
liked
though.
it. I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked it.
Honestly, I wasn't mad about it. It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for this week's City News. Reporter Brandon Kozlowski is here to tell you about some exciting new projects opening around the town.
One of those projects being a brand new ride right in Kennywood Park. Brandon?
Thanks, Anthony and Juliana. Winter may almost be here, but Kennywood is planning a new area that will be out of this world. According to the Tribune Review, a new intergalactic themed area called Area 412 will be debuting in spring 2023. Along with the new area of the park, a new ride will also debut. Called Spinvasion, the new ride will provide a, quote, electrifying combination of speed and gravity, end quote. Kennywood General Manager Mike Paul said that the single-car ride will crisscross other passengers, which will create the illusion of getting close to the other riders. The new attraction will be a part of Kennywood's 125th anniversary. And a new athletic complex has opened in Coriopolis. According to CBS Pittsburgh, the 20,000 square foot practice facility sponsored by Allegheny Health Network will be used for Pittsburgh soccer teams, the Riverhounds. The sports facility is considered to be one of the largest complexes in the area of its kind, featuring 3 turf FIFA-regulated fields. The complex will also be home to a sports science lab that will help with identifying weaknesses in the athlete's body. Reporting for Daybreak, I'm Brandon Kozlowski. Let's send it back to our host.
Thanks for the info, Brandon. Coming up after the break, we'll catch you up to date on Pittsburgh sports with Sam's Sideline Slice.
We'll politismack this week's political news with reporter Addison Deal, and we'll hear a bit about the rumors of a national ban on TikTok from reporter Hannah Bazet.
That's all for now, but don't worry, Daybreak will be right back.
Hey.
Good evening and welcome to News Night. My name is Craig Furkowski.
Tonight, we'll cover all your international, national, and local news.
Australia is one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet.
Over 8,000 items are to be auctioned off at Pittsburgh International Airport on October 22nd.
Last Thursday, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack chose to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
All this and more
Coming up on Newsnight.
Welcome back to Daybreak, everybody. My name is Samuel Parator, and I have returned with another Sideline Slice, where I catch you up on what happened last week and what to expect in the next one. Our Pittsburgh Steelers came off the bye week this past Sunday and returned home to Acrisure Stadium for the first time since October 16th in that 20-18 win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Steelers came into this game against the New Orleans Saints desperately needing a spark to turn this poor season around. All the signs were there for that to be the case. We are coming back home, coming off the bye week, going against a not-so-good team, and most importantly, last year's reigning, defending, and undisputed Defensive Player of the Year, T.J. Watt, was finally back since suffering the torn pec in Week 1. The defense sure felt his presence early and put up a great performance. The offense was not as great, but what was surprisingly good was the rushing attack. The 1-2 punch of Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren was definitely effective. Najee putting up 99 yards and Warren putting up 37. And even Kenny Pickett dabbled in the run game a little bit, putting up 51 yards and scoring a touchdown on the ground. Despite that, however, he didn't look as comfortable through the air, going 18 of 30 for only 199 yards and no touchdowns thrown. But at least he didn't turn the ball over. This was a game the Steelers are desperately needing to hopefully gain a little bit of rhythm back and gain some momentum heading into an all-important battle against division rival Cincinnati Bengals. We may have been flexed out of that Sunday night football slot in favor of 4:25 p.m., but it is still a big fight feel as the Steelers look for that season sweep of the Cincinnati Bengals after surviving that roller coaster of a bout in Week 1. The Steelers will be going in with their color rush jerseys as well as the Bengals will be in their white color rush jerseys as well. This battle will be a big fight feel, and it's going to be a division rivalry to remember. That is all for me, and as always, here we go Steelers. Now let's send it over to reporter Addison Deal for this week's PolitiSmack.
Thanks, Sam. I'm Addison Deal, and this is your PolitiSmack. The midterm election took place this past week with many narrow victories for candidates in Pennsylvania. In the senatorial race, John Fetterman, the Democratic candidate, took the seat over Republican runner-up Mehmet Oz with 51% of the vote, with Oz taking 46.5%. In the race for governor, Democrat Josh Shapiro won with a 56.3% of the vote, with 41.9% going to his Republican counter, Doug Mastriano. In Pittsburgh specifically, the congressional representative for District 12 goes to the Democratic candidate Summer Lee with 55.9% of the vote and 44.1% of the vote going to the opposing Republican candidate Mike Doyle. In addition to the winning candidates, the 22 midterm elections saw some of the highest voter turnout in years. In Pennsylvania, the voter turnout exceeds 2018 by nearly 4 percentage points. Along with Pennsylvania, many other battleground states had a high voter turnout. In Michigan and Vermont, nearly 6 in 10 voters turned in ballots for this midterm election. Young voters were also very active in this election, with about 1 in 8 voters being under 30 years old, according to the Washington Post. This age group, Generation Z, voted mostly Democratic in this election, which gave many Democratic candidates the push needed to win. Younger voters are not the only people featured in this election, but also young candidates. Max Frost made Florida and U.S. history in this election as one of the youngest people voted into Congress at 25 years old and the first member of Generation Z to be elected into office. This young voter turnout did not sit well with some Republicans, however, with many claiming the younger voters had overturned the expected red wave. Conservative radio personality Peter Schiff, 59, was vocal in his upset about the young voters. Schiff tweeted, quote, "Raise the voting age to 28. If I was 18, I'd support this," end quote. In a series of tweets that have now gone viral on Twitter, anti-Muslim activist Bridget Gabriel tweeted, quote, "Raise the voting age to 21, end quote. Immediately after, also tweeted, quote, "We were promised a red wave and we got a red puddle," end quote. No in-office Republicans have commented on this situation, so it is unclear whether or not this will become an actual issue. Finally, Trump has announced his bid for the 2024 election. After many speculations surrounding the ex-president's plan for the next election, Trump will officially be running to receive the Republican presidential nomination. The ex-president made this announcement in Mar-a-Lago, his Floridian home where his campaign is to use as headquarters. Throughout his hour-long speech, Trump reiterated his claims from the previous election, celebrating the use of paper ballots and showering distaste on the, quote, corruption in Washington today. Additionally, the president made clear that his presidential bid is a sacrifice he is willing to make, stating, quote, anyone who truly seeks to take on this rigged and corrupt system will be faced with a storm of fire that only a few could understand, end quote. Donald Trump is still facing trial for the January 6th insurrection, which could put a hold on his presidential run. Trump is the first Republican to officially announce their candidacy, but talks of Mike Pence and Rob DeSantis stepping into the role are being heard. Now back to our hosts.
Did you watch the Steeler game?
I did. I went to the Steeler game.
Whoa.
It was really fun.
Yeah?
It was really cold.
Oh, I bet. Did you have good seats?
We did have good seats, and
Good.
for a good deal. We waited last minute to get our tickets.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it was worth seeing the win.
Good. I was watching it on my computer in the back room at work.
Oh,
when I was
you were
supposed to be, when I was supposed to be doing other stuff, but
that's okay. It was worth it.
Yeah, it was Steelers Sunday, and
Right.
I'm not gonna watch the game.
Right. We won, so it was worth it.
Right.
Thank you, Samuel and Addison.
Before we jump into this week's Ray of Sunshine, reporter Hannah Bazet is here to share the national scoop about the future of everyone's favorite video app. Hannah?
Thanks, Juliana and Anthony. Senators Marco Rubio of Florida and Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin are pushing to introduce new legislation to ban TikTok in the United States. The duo claims that the social media app's popularity in the U.S. could be giving the Chinese Communist Party the ability to indoctrinate United States citizens and collect info on its users. In a joint statement, the pair of senators told the Washington Post, quote, TikTok is a major threat to U.S. national security. Unless TikTok and its algorithm can be separated from Beijing, the app's use in the United States will continue to jeopardize our country's safety and pave the way for a Chinese-influenced tech landscape here, end quote. TikTok has been a popular social media app for a few years now. A Pew Research Center study released last month says that 10% of Americans use the app as a source of news. Criticism for the app draws from China's 2017 national security law, which states, quote, any organization or citizen shall support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work in accordance with the law and maintain the secrecy of all knowledge of state intelligence work, end quote. Rubio and Gallagher are claiming that by U.S. citizens using this app, China may be collecting sensitive national security information. The pair said, quote, with this app, Beijing could also collect sensitive national security information from U.S. government employees and develop profiles on millions of Americans to use for blackmail or espionage, end quote. Along with Senators Rubio and Gallagher, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr has also shared his support for a TikTok ban. He claims that the Treasury Department and its Committee on Foreign Investment should take action against this app. Carr said, quote, I think all of this is a part of a broad issue, which is that Beijing is looking to use all sorts of tech and telecom means, whether it's cyber attacks, whether it's harvesting data through TikTok to pursue malign goals, end quote. The first ban threat occurred back in 2020 when President Trump issued an executive order saying ByteDance had to sell the company to an American firm. Later in June of 2021, President Biden revoked the national order but did begin an investigation into the potential security threats that TikTok may pose. For now, it seems that an all-out ban could be possible, but it's unlikely to happen anytime soon. Besides the U.S. banning TikTok access on government phones, the federal government has not done much to regulate TikTok for average U.S. citizens. The Biden administration's investigation is still ongoing and results have yet to be shared. The Treasury Department's Committee on Foreign Investment is still in contact with TikTok and trying to reach a security deal. Congress has also proposed the American Data and Privacy and Protection Act as a bill, but the bill has not yet been passed. We will have to wait and see what the future holds for this famous video app. That's all from me. Now let's hand it back over to our host for this week's Ray of Sunshine.
Thanks so much, Hannah. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of Daybreak, Ray of Sunshine.
In case this is your first time joining us, or you just need a refresher, Ray of Sunshine is our way of starting your day with a smile and an inspirational quote.
As we all head home to celebrate Thanksgiving and fall break with our loved ones, let's take a moment to reflect and appreciate the people who we're thankful for.
This quote comes from our author Douglas Wood and reads, "The heart that gives thanks is a happy one, for we cannot feel thankful and unhappy at the same time. That's like a perfect quote in time for Thanksgiving.
Right, I agree with that. It's true. I mean,
It is true. I never really thought about it, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, if they tell you, like those therapy apps, they're always like, take a moment of
Oh, yeah.
gratification. That's like the first thing.
Yeah.
Count what you're grateful for.
Yeah, it takes time.
Right, I guess it's scientifically proven. Like,
I guess so.
you do your gratitude, it makes you happier. Gratitude's the attitude. That's a SpongeBob song.
There, is it really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't watch SpongeBob. But anyway.
That's it for this episode of Daybreak. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
You can catch clips from all of our previous Daybreak episodes on our YouTube at UView Television.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Daybreak PPU. Until next time, I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Anthony Durzo, hoping your news is great news. See you next week, everyone.